Okay, so I'm looking here at the gear, and I want to make sure that you guys see this, because and some of the other bolts I'm going to have to do the same thing on, but basically I have the washer on the wrong side here. The washer should go on the nut side, not on the bolt side. So there's some that are underneath here as well, and I believe I did the same thing, and I want to make sure, I want to go ahead and get that corrected. So today I'm also going to be trying to get this airplane lifted up on a stand underneath there, and then also support the tail, because it's going to end up being tail heavy as well, but we want to support the airframe, and we want to go ahead and get these bolts removed, get the washers off the wrong side, make sure they're only on the correct side, and then get that back installed. So that's going to be this week's work, is getting that part done, and hopefully getting the rudder pedals mocked up, and then finish getting everything more or less riveted. This panel I want to paint separately, so we're going to paint that separate, and that channel there, I believe we're going to go ahead and get that painted separately as well, and then we're going to go ahead and get all this laid down, and get that all final riveted in place, and get the the rudder pedals painted, and then get those installed as well. So we're going to get all that pulled out. We're going to get the instrument panel pulled off. Most of this is going to come back out again as well, because I need to get down into those bolts, get those fixed, and then take a look at the plans and figure out, does this go underneath or on top? And I believe it goes underneath, so we're going to get that all started as well, and so that we can get maybe start riveting all of this in place, since I don't need to get in there anymore because the controls are done. So you know, running the wires down underneath and everything, I'm going to leave the seat bases out down here, so we can get wires through and get them into that back section, but that's about it. Some other things are going to be going down through here, and this area here is also going to be, we're going to work on getting those riveted, or not riveted, but get that nut plated in place at some point. Not sure yet when. While I have the firewall off, I'm also going to be fixing the bolts here, because on the inside I did also put washers in there. So again, guys, learn from my mistakes. Washer only goes on the nut side, not on the bolt side. So make sure you pay attention to that. And see, I learned by the time I got down to here. So, but now I need to go back and fix those. Save yourself time. Don't have to do things twice, but rather fix it now than later when I get told to. So, all right. Okay, guys, so we are done for the weekend working on the Zenith Cruzer here. I'm going to take a minute and let you take a look at what we got done. So I'm really happy. We got everything mocked up here in the front, in the rudder pedals. So we'll be able to start taking those apart next weekend and pulling that all out, and then start planning the painting process of the inside of this cockpit area. So that's really looking forward to getting that started, because once I get that going, the inside is going to be starting to pull together and starting to look more like an airplane on the inside. Then I can also, once that's all painted, I can get the firewall riveted in place permanently, minus the metal brackets that will go to the motor mount. So we're still going to wait on that. But everything else here is looking pretty good. I'm going to turn the camera around. We'll take a quick look a little bit closer on what we accomplished. Okay, so as you can see, where these bolts are, what I did wrong, and you can see there's plenty of space now between the gear and that bolt head. The mistake I made is on this one here was the worst, on these two. These two bolts, because I had a washer on this side, the bolt heads were hitting the gear plate here. Same with these front ones. Now I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but there is a gap now between these bolts and the gear leg here. So that's great, and that one has a nice big gap, and that one as well.
And then same on the other side down over here. So you really gotta, and this was something that I learned. I didn't realize this, and I want anyone that's looking to build an airplane to learn from my mistakes here. I correct my mistakes when I realize that I've made one, and make sure this is safe. So these bolts are now in there properly, with no washers on the bolt head side. But by having to do this, I've now chipped that paint. I'm going to have to touch that up by hand with a little paintbrush. A little disappointed in that, but I'd rather fix this and do it right and then just touch up that paint later. And if anyone's interested in the type of paint I'm using here, as you can see, it is a flat paint, but it's not extremely flat. I'm not sure if the camera is really going to pick up the color very well this close with the flashlight on it, but it's really not that flat. Same with this. It's more of a satin, if you can kind of see it. So I really like that color. It's going to look really nice. And so we'll see how that works out. Okay, so I hope the lighting is okay and you guys can see this, but we've gotten everything kind of mocked up here now. Still have some adjustments to do and also determine what direction is the best to have the master cylinder facing. Whether that nipple should be off to the right or left or back. I'm going to take a look and see how everybody else. If you guys have some suggestions on how that should be, please put it in the comments below. Appreciate that. But nonetheless, we have these. We have the master cylinder mounts in place. We still have to drill these out to the final holes, which I will do before we get to the painting process here. But that's all in there now. Just cleat-coat in place. These are just temporarily light. They're not torqued down or anything. They're just bolted in place loosely. This one is in as well, and the bushing on the other side over here. So all those are now in place. We do have the pedals for the brake pedals are now in place as well. And now you can see they move nice and smooth. We'll be working on figuring out the cabling when we get to that stage, but that's this part. It's not binding. This is just hanging here right now, and it's rubbing on the aluminum. So we want to hold that up so we don't rub on that. But see, this one also moves nice and smooth. No issues whatsoever here. So that's all looking good. I do have to make sure I have the right one in the right side. I think they're both the same length, but I want to make sure. Yeah, so this is done now and looking pretty good. So that's pretty much it for this week, guys. Rudder pedals are in. The main control are all in. I do have the holes. I did take a look at the manual or the plans, and I did determine based on the plans that this actually does overlap this, so I have to match drill the seat base to this. Get that all taken care of. And I think I'm going to leave these panels out for the time being, or just leave this panel out. I'm not sure how I'm going to get this taken care of for painting, but we'll figure that out. We do have to start finishing up the riveting back here because that is not coming out again. Same with the back panel here and here. Those two pieces are done. They're not coming out again, so we'll get those riveted along that top section as well. I want to leave this piece and this piece off still, so that way I can get inside there. We'll paint those separately. Seat bases are also going to be coming off, and we'll paint those separately as well. Do have to make an L angle that goes between here and here, so we'll work on that next week as well. But yeah, everything is looking mighty nice in here. Everything is going together really good. Looking forward to getting some more work done on it. In the meantime, what I might end up doing is go ahead and put that firewall back on here just for the time, because I don't really like supporting the aircraft back here. I'd rather have the weight up in the nose and have it sit normally. So we're going to get that firewall back on. That'll be it for the day, and it's going to sit for the week because I have I'm going to be work related activities throughout the week, so not going to be doing much more work on it now. All right, guys, so that's all we have for the day. I do want to give a shout out to AEROWORKS. He's building a Super Duty. Adam is building a Super Duty Zenith aircraft, and make sure you check out his channel. I'm going to put a card up in the corner, one of the corners, or it'll just be in the, but the link will also be in the description to his channel. Please go ahead and support him as well. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for his channel and for mine. So without further ado, guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll go ahead and see you on the next video.